Okay, hello everyone. So for this video, I'll be teaching you how to set up your database and connect your PHP code to your MySQL database. First, you need to start your sum, and then let's start the Apache, and then let's start the MySQL. So there are different ways for you to connect to the database. For this one, I'll show you first the CLI method. So you can click on the shell, then this command line interface will pop up, and then you can connect your database by calling the MySQL command and then -u for the username. We have here by default the root user. So when you install your SAMP, you already have your MySQL database together with the default user, which is the root. This is the super admin. It doesn't have any password. So you just do the enter here. Then you will be connected, or as you can see, the prompt changed. So basically we are now successfully connected to our database. So we can now create a database here and then use that database and then create table for that database. And I just do the show databases here so that you can see there are already a database existing here. So I want to show you how to connect to the another approach, which is the web interface. So just type in the localhost slash then your PHP myadmin. So this is the web interface of your database. Here you can see the databases that are existing, which is also same in the command line. You can actually also use different softwares to connect to your database. So for this one, I'll be focusing more on the web interface so that it's easier to navigate. So I'll create a new database by clicking this new, and then I just call this database as uh, let's say mydb. Then click enter. So you'll have now the create table interface. Here you can create our first table for the mydb database. So I'll just call this one user, then I'll make it a six field, maybe 6 columns. Then click on the create, then you will end up with this interface. So I'll first do a user ID. So user ID. I'll make this one auto increment, and then by default, it will also become my primary key. Then I want to capture the first name. I just call it an F name. So I give a 500 characters. Then I call it the surname, or for this one, L name. So I also give this 500 characters. And then I want to capture the middle name, or I just called it an M name. And then also 500 characters. Next, I would like to capture the email. So let's do this a varchar. Maybe 150 would do. Then birthday. This is a data type. So I just click on the date. And I also want to capture the time the user registered, or the time the record was created for that specific user. So I'll add a column here. You can see in the top, there's an add column. Then I'll call this one date created. Then timestamp. Then the default value, I'll be using also current timestamp so that it will just get the current timestamp of the server for creating the database. So just hit create here, or I save, just hit save. Then you will now have your first table, which is named user. You can click on the browse so you can see the data here. However, there's no data yet. That's why it's blank. Then you can also click on the structure, which gives us the structure of our database, or I should say table. You can also change if you have something to alter here. And then SQL, you can run your SQL commands here. And there's already some templates here for select, insert, update, etc. Then you can also search your table here. If we already have data, you can actually search for a specific record or records. Then you can manually insert by clicking on this one. You can manually insert your table. You can also export the table by clicking this export. And then you can also import table for your database. Then some, of course, the privileges that who can control your database. No? So by default, we have the root here. Then operation, you can actually rename your table. Then you can also delete, truncate, or drop the table itself. You can also set up triggers here if you need one. So you can also export the whole database. So just click on your database, and then there's a export here. So if you do this one, it will export the whole database. Then you can import it again to a different database. So just click on the export. You can, and it will let you download the .sql file. Then you can also import from your .sql. You can also rename your uh, database. You can also drop your database. And some other, of course, functions. So we were able now to have our user table. Let's now connect our PHP to this table. So let's create a new file in this directory, and I'll call this one connection.php. Then let's double click this connection, and let's have the PHP tag. And for this one, I'll be using the MySQL iConnect function to connect to our database. So let's click, or let's create a variables for our host. Our host is localhost since we're just connecting to a local database inside this machine. And if you will be connecting to online databases, you need to change the host to their host name. So db user, for us this will be root. Then db pass is blank because we don't have password for the root user. And then db name, or the database that we will be connecting to, is mydb. There. So for this one, we will now use the procedural version of the MySQLi Connect. So there's also an object-oriented one, but for an easier understanding for this demo, I'll be just using the procedural one. So our first parameter will be the host, followed by the user, and then the password, and then the database name, DB name. So this function will return a connection. So we need to store it in a variable there. Then this variable will be used every now and then when we transact with our database. So you can check whether the connection is successful by calling the connection variable. So if this is true, then successful is connected. Or you can also call the MySQLi connect error number. Connect error number. So if this returns a value that is not 1, then there's a problem now with the connection. So we can echo actually like connection failed. No, you can also use the die, um what you call this, the die function, but I'll just use echo, then just concatenate the MySQL I connect message error. So this will return the error message, and then I'll just call the exit to terminate the script. No? So if there's an error in connection, we don't want, uh, of course, the remaining script to um, proceed, since if it will be needing database, it will not be successfully running. No? So let's put some password here. Since there's a password and our root user doesn't have any password, so that would cause an error. So let's go to our directory. Then this is our connection. Let's click on this one. Then you'll see here there we have some errors since we added the password, but our root user doesn't have any password. So if you want it to successfully or to gracefully exit, no, so you can use the try catch for this one. So I'll remove the password and then let's refresh this page. So you see the error was now none. So basically we successfully connected to our database. So it doesn't show up anything since we didn't code anything yet for this demonstration. So okay, so that's all for this one. I'll be having my next video for the registration of the user and of course the logging and so on and so forth.